Hello everyone, this is the Husky here. I am going to be casting the last game, maybe if I can bring up the production tab and the name tab here, between Duckload Ross spawning down in the bottom center. He is going to be your red Protoss who decides that rally points in the early stages of the game are overrated, allowing his probe just to sit there for half a second. DarkForce is going to be your yellow Zerg spawning up here in the top center. The map is going to be Shattered Temple, so it's almost as if so many games were played on Lost Temple that the map itself has evolved. I'm sure most of you know the differences already, but I will review them really quickly. Top left side and bottom right side islands have been turned into not islands, but destructible debris accessible locations for expansions. And what else did they add? They changed the center of the map to be more wide open, but there is only one watchtower to oversee exactly what's going on there. And they also removed the cliffs. Thank goodness. Thank you, Blizzard developer gods, for removing this cliff. I hated, as a Protoss player, going against siege tanks in that location. So I am extremely happy about that. So, yeah, this is going to be game number 3 as we are all tied up 1-1. I feel like the last game was uncharacteristic for WhiteRa, and the only reason I say that is because I'm more familiar with WhiteRa's playstyle in that was a little bit odd for him. DarkForce I'm not as familiar with, but he is showing us, hey, I can take a game off WhiteRa. I'm not too shibbity-shabbity either, even though he does some weird Zergling timings where he gets out a lot of Zerglings and then is like, well, I'm not going to do anything with these, and I'm now going to make a bunch of drones. But maybe I'm just spoiled and a little too familiar with Spanishua's playstyle, and I have to not be biased and realize that there is more than one way to play Zerg. And, you know, DarkForce's way of playing Zerg evidently can go 50-50 against WhiteRa, so it is definitely not a wrong way of playing at all. Looks like WhiteRa going to be throwing down a Nexus. This drone wishing he could block it there. Maybe could have done an extractor, or not an extractor, but an Evo chamber block where you make a hatchery, cancel it, make an Evo chamber. However, WhiteRa is going to get a freebie here. He is very happy about these spawn locations in that since he put the pylon on the low ground, he wants to do a fast expand. We'll see if it ends up working out. Now, this map is interesting because a Zerg player could potentially kill these rocks to try and get behind and attack this location, but it takes so long. Number one, because rocks take forever to kill. Number two, a Zerg player would have to be completely out of position in killing the second pair of rocks, and so the chances of that are going to be fairly slim. Looks like more Zerglings on the way for DarkForce, and he again... Did he have a metabolic boost on the way? Yes, he does. So he is such not a macro player in the early stages of the game, man. He hasn't expanded yet. Just using 4 Zerglings to deny scouting. I mean, yes, he did kill that probe, but since he has metabolic boost on the way, his economy is delayed anyways. But he is going to be expanding here, and I'm not trying to ream him for this build order. This is completely standard. So I just want to mention the downsides of it, though, is that your economy gets going underway a little bit later. The positives are that you have Zergling speed for the rest of the game, as well as utilizing that for map control. So that is something to talk about. We got the Cybernetics Core on the way right now. The Cybernetics Core extremely delayed, but that's because WhiteRa had to get a Forge, a Cannon, and a Nexus before getting down the Cybernetics Core. I really like how WhiteRa has 2 pylons right here. Very difficult to kill these off with Banelings. Is he going to put a pylon right here to prevent any sort of Zergling run by? The answer, folks, is yes. So this is a completely tight wall in here. You would think a Zergling could slip through here, but he can't. They are too fat, man. They have not been working out as much as they should, so that is not something that can happen. And what can happen is an early Roach Warren trying to bust down this wall. But again, we've seen DarkForce go for these early tech structures and then not use them. However, he does have a lot of larvae here, which he is turning quickly into roaches. You little larvae are going to grow up to be a Roach Entrance Rush Bust. Roach Entrance Rush Bust is apparently the name I have given this build, and hopefully for WhiteRa, this Stalker can actually spawn on this side of the gateway. Look at the amount of damage this Zergling is doing to this pylon. This is a big deal because every time he hurts the health of this, that's going to make it that much easier for the roaches. Oh no, the cannon placement is not going to allow... Oh, no. This is so bad. This is so bad for WhiteRa right now, especially since he has a bunch of roaches headed towards his base. This poor Stalker is stuck in the middle of the map. He will be destroyed by these Zerglings unless WhiteRa magically micros against him. Here come the Zerglings right now to engage this. The Stalker is surrounded. Zergling speed is completed. And, oh, this is a complete facepalm moment for WhiteRa right now. He has absolutely nothing to hold this off. I don't know how he will be able to hold it off. Thankfully, there is a cannon here, but guess what? The cannon is in range of all of the roaches. He did not put it back. One more Hex, and goodbye cannon right here. So WhiteRa desperately trying to throw down some static defense, but the Zerglings are knocking at the front door. I do want to mention a huge probe disadvantage, more than 15 probes or 15 drones less. WhiteRa trying to chrono boost out these units, but his gateway technology isn't even done yet. The roaches are now going to be inside here. One force field going to hold it off as long as possible. The sentry only able to zap away one Zergling. This game come quickly spiraling out of control for WhiteRa. This shows you the importance of building placements and scouting. WhiteRa is going to be losing this series. It looks like, wow, DarkForce able to easily break in here and just take this out. Oh my god, that was completely one-sided, losing 2,000 resources exactly, more than his opponent at that stage of the game. And that's one of the things about a Protoss Fast Expand. More Zerg players just need to rush like this. Like, look how easily it crushed WhiteRa. Even after losing that Stalker, would he have been able to hold off this amount of units? Kind of hard to tell. The cannon placement wasn't the best, I'll give him that, and the Stalker being on the outside is the worst start to that defensive play possible. But, oh man, so one-sided here in this last game. So I got to hand to DarkForce, though. You need to punish a Protoss player for fast expanding. You need to. In most games, you absolutely need to do that. DarkForce doing just that. Even if you just make the roaches and start harassing from afar, I don't know why more Zerg players, honestly, I don't know why they don't do that. Almost every single game where I see a Zerg player do this, the Protoss player is scratching his head and really has a very difficult time in dealing with it. So an extremely short game here, but an extremely interesting one, I would say, and one that a lot of Zerg players can learn from, as well as Protoss can learn from. So the early stages of the game are the most important part of StarCraft to learn, because that is where things scale the quickest. So if you forget one probe, it hurts you more in the long game than forgetting one probe at a 30-minute mark. So learning the early stages of the game are absolutely vital. So anyways, thank you guys for sending replays to huskyreplays@gmail.com. Thank you for making replay covers and posting them to Husky Replays, or not Husky Replays, but facebook.com/HuskyStarcraft. Thank you guys for being so awesome. Thank you for watching the videos, and thank you for just being you, because you know what? Nerds are taking over the world, and if you don't believe it, everyone that works at NASA is a super nerd, and they invent the coolest things ever, and they put a man on the moon. So, nerds for the win. And, yeah, that's that. I'm going to be casting some more games here, hopefully. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.
Oh my god, Husky, the moon landing was proven to be a scam by the US government. It never actually happened. Please thumbs up this comment so that Husky can see the truth. Please make sure to follow my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about really pressing issues, like, is the moon landing real? Was Barack Obama's birth certificate written on a piece of papyrus? You know, just really important stuff. Husky, your commentaries have really started to slip. I really don't like that you post games other than StarCraft. When I subscribed to your channel, your name was HuskyStarcraft, so if you could just not have fun on any other game, that would be really great. So I really feel like you're letting the fans down, so I'm just gonna go ahead and unsubscribe. But if you guys could check out my YouTube channel, that would be great. Thanks.